everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. It may be hard to find a running lane today. The Falcons have the best rush defense in the league, and they're going against the Saints, who will try to avoid becoming one-dimensional. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
Thank you very much, Larry. You are looking live at the Georgia Dome here in downtown Atlanta. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the New Orleans Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. That'll be taken in the end zone. Look at the spin. A second spin.
Turning and turning and turning.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. For the first time with Devontae Freeman. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. On second down, Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the gun on third down, Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
And I think the end result, knocking the ball away, was a product of understanding where they were on the field, understanding how many yards they needed to pick up the first down, and tightening their coverage accordingly. Gave them no gaps, no spaces, no real air in which to catch the football, and end up making a really nice play.
So on 4th down, the Falcons will call on Matt Bosher to punt it away. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. First down, he'll drop to throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. It's a pickup of 21. And the Saints are going to get a first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll look to throw here on first down. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
Back to throw now on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up a second and goal. And if this offense is going to flow today, certainly the running back will be a key piece.
Without a doubt, because they asked their runner to not just do that, but to block, to catch, to help set a tone for their offense.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they set up the screen. That's complete. Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's third down. The starting defense for the Falcons.
Terry Poe emerged on the scene fast as a young player and continues to make big plays at defensive tackle.
And with the play clock winding down, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. It's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Let's see, the defense might bring some added pressure as the offense is dealing with a 3rd and long.
Here we go now.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And the incompletion there, so that breaks a string of 5 straight hookups. It also leads to a 4th down.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance and they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And the Saints are going to take a 3-0 lead. So, of course, they wanted to find the end zone, but when you go on the road and your first drive results in points, I think you're pretty happy.
You have to be because you've taken it to the home team in this case. And while you may not have shut up the home crowd, you've quieted them down a little bit. Good way to start.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. Freeman, the lone man in the backfield.
Let's go.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And finding the tight end, Hooper. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And the play clock running very low, so Dan Quinn decides to call for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
All right, here we go.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. A glance at the starting unit. Julio Jones, a threat on the outside, of course.
Combines great athleticism, incredible speed, and a whole lot of toughness to be one of the better receivers in the NFL.
They come out here in the eye. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
23 yards on the play.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come up in an offset eye. Here's Ryan. And he's got Fuller. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Forced out to his left. Touchdown, Falcons.
That was not a designed run. It was supposed to be a pass, but it turned into an exceptional run. What a scramble for a touchdown.
Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. He's got it. They'll see that opening drive field goal and raise it a touchdown, and that makes it 7-3. Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20, as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And the offense lining up 1st and 10.
No.
Play clock winding down.
Here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are. You know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Roughing the pass here, but Charles, that's a good call. But these days, you know quarterbacks, they're very protective.
We know how protected they are, and if it's anything borderline, they're going to get the call. But as a defender, that's hard to swallow sometimes because there's so many of these bang-bang plays.
They'll need to get the play off quickly, and they'll go on the ground. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
And as we've seen throughout this season, it's no picnic trying to score touchdowns against this unit. They're ranked #1 against the run. But it's also difficult because it's not easy to throw the ball against them either.
They come up in an offset eye. They'll drop to throw. Backing up. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. back at the 16 now after the sack. Here's 3rd and goal.
Here we go now. Landed.
Back to throw here. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Their big-bodied receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Saints are back out in front. Now for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Second and 10. It's Ryan again. He goes underneath to Freeman. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll be 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Third down and 4. From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's brought down, but not before getting across midfield to the 45. And that's the connection, Ryan to Jones, that this defense obviously has to key in on.
Certainly feels like they got the party started with that one, doesn't it? And when those two get in sync, it just scares the heck out of defenses because he can hit Julio Jones in a short zone, and he can take it the whole way.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. 12 yards on the pickup, and the Falcons are going to get a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 on the gain there. And that leads to an Atlanta 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. That is caught at the 7. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, his second touchdown on the season. And the Falcons have once again taken the lead. To try here for the extra point. And that makes it 14-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Now let's go. Blue, landed. Watch him now, Barney. No. Check. Patriot.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target. And now it's 3rd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And the offense facing a 3rd and 6. They come out here in the eye. The play clock's running down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Deep drop. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down in those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. And this is incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it'll bring up 3rd down. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Hey, watch the lane. Leopard. Leopard.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And finding the tight end Hooper. And it's a fumble. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Thomas, the lone receiver, left.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Wide open receiver complete. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
Two receivers left, one to the right.
Green 39.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 10 there. And that leads to a New Orleans 1st down.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. One receiver left, 2 to the right. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
And now we're circling here around the 2-minute warning.
This is a setup play, trying to get one last one in before the clock warning.
Green 39! Green 39!
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. 1:57 to go in this first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. So they're operating in the red zone.
Single. Watch 32. Set. Blue landed. Hot. Over. Leopard.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up second and goal. And they're going to speed things up here. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at him with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop him.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down. They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Falcons now making their way back out onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. After the interception, here's Ryan. He's going to let this one go deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Watch 81, watch 81. Single receiver. Hey,
2nd and 10 now. Ryan. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to lead to a third down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
double tight, guys, double tight. Hey. Got three down.
Ryan now to throw on third down. Finding Gabriel complete. And 15 yards there on the catch and run.
Some think the teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. Charles, I know it's hard when live bullets are flying, but you cannot keep your hand up around the face mask area.
It is absolutely inexcusable nowadays. We talk about target areas all the time. You have to aim lower so that your hand doesn't get involved in the face mask.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
This is Lasco. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
It'd be hard to say that a defense wouldn't be ready for a first down run. When you can gain that kind of yardage against a defense that's really kind of geared to stop that play, your confidence has to rise, and now you've actually opened up your playbook. If you want to throw the ball now for play action, you're good to go.
And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's going to be out of bounds down inside the 20. 18 yards there, down to the 18, and a first down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right.
Green, 39, Philly, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that is incomplete.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. And out of bounds just shy of the end zone at the 1. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. Great footwork there, Charles, to dot the I, stay in bounds, get both feet in. He's probably thinking, though, man, I made a catch like that close to the end zone. I should have scored.
Yeah, there's always a regret when you're that close to the goal line. But let's go back to what you talked about before. Getting his feet down. Would you say dotting the I? I can cross the T as well. That was excellent footwork.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Saints have retaken the lead. Now the extra point. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. The ball upright on the tee, and the Saints kick team booms it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
No. Check. Patriot. Here we go. Detroit.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. It's complete to Fuller. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
All right, now look at 56.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage, look defensively.
Here we go, 90. Blue 90.
Out of the gun now on third down. Dancing to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
Fresh set of downs here. They come up in an offset eye. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And this is Gabriel on the catch. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now Ryan on second down. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. On first and 10, it's Ryan. Fuller brings it in over the middle. He showed off the athletic juke, but it didn't buy him a whole lot of real estate.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Throwing again, Ryan. And that's incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And it's third down.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
On third down, Ryan. Finding Gabriel complete. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it now out of the gun and give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. On second down, Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. Muscles him off. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's third down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
Ryan. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. They were looking that time to get it to Justin Hardy. And it's 4th and 4.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And his kick here is good. And that will tie things at 17-all. So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but at least it does draw them back level.
And that has to be job one. A touchdown certainly would have been nice. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got the rest of the second half to try and get yourselves in front.
Nothing separating these two teams on the scoreboard as the kick's away here. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And last year, that would have been a net gain of 5 on the return. This year, he stopped where he would have been if he had taken a knee, and that's at the 25. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And that's why you see a lot of teams that like to play 4-3 defense, especially against teams that run the ball really well, because you count on your defensive front, the tackles and the ends, to eat up the blocking in the offensive line and keep that guy in the middle clean so he can roam to the football and make a tackle. In this case, he introduced himself and said, "Hello, my name is Mike."
Second down following the run. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. The catch made over the middle by Ginn. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains. Charles, on the slant, you always need good ball placement. They got it there.
Brandon, the quarterback, put it in the exact perfect spot, right to the upfield shoulder of the receiver, and he used his body to keep the defender away.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Back 99, Philly. Here we go. Detroit. Detroit.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he was hit as he threw it there, and it forces it incomplete.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
Second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
So here we go now. An extra defensive back in there on 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. And now another one thrown incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and it's 4th down.
Now let's go ahead and try and get into the body and the mind of of the linebackers. Yeah, I know they're bigger and stronger than I ever was, but in this situation, they understood what was going on as much as the offensive guys, because the offensive guys are always taught, find the first down sticks and make the play. Well, on defense, what do you want to do? Guard the first down line. Make sure they don't get there and tackle them in front. They were able to drop in their zone coverage, figure out where the first down line was, and end up making the play, swatting it away so they couldn't get the completion.
Face mask penalty, and Charles, you were a defender. You know sometimes in the heat of the moment, it's hard to keep your hands away from that face mask.
Sometimes you just get out of position as a defender when you're trying to make a tackle, so you end up flailing away, and your hand gets into the wrong spot.
They come out here in the eye. On first down, Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. It's a gain of 20 that time. And it'll give the Falcons a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Ryan. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Freeman, the lone man in the backfield. 2nd and 10. It's Ryan again. He's going to go up top for the looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll have the football, but deep in their own territory as he's brought down at the 5. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it, be aggressive, because I got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. Catch here, left side, Thomas. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
An extra defensive back in the game now here for 3rd and 4. the gun. They'll look to throw. He finds Coleman. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. Back now here on EA Sports. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Time running out here on the play clock. Again, he'll drop to throw. Gonna throw right side here, complete. A good pickup there, a 22. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels.
Let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
Play clock winding down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to take this one down to the 25. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one. And the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Their dangerous wide receiver. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints have moved out in front. Extra point forthcoming. And they will take a 7-point lead now. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here now come the Falcons. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. So the D-line's going to spread out. Now Ryan. The left side completion to Jones. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Quarterbacks like throwing the slant route, but they have to be careful about ball placement. They have to put it in a spot that makes sure the receiver has his body in front of the defender.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here.
Here we go.
And the play clock's running down. He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. The defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch, and they miss. And that turns into what? A huge play. We've seen it so many times. In this case, though, catch was made, put down right on the spot.
Hitting the home stretch here in a great game, a tie game. Let's see if the defense can get the stop they need to get the ball back. On third down, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see when they come.
And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Falcons. Austin Hooper, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons have broken our tie. When they drew that up, I don't think they envisioned it ending in a house call. But he got it and took it all the way home.
Really impressive run after the catch, wasn't it? That was really special by him. But let's face it, in today's NFL, those tight ends are often former wide receivers or maybe even sometimes bigger running backs. They just put them in a position to get a great matchup and make plays like that.
Atlanta's 11 ready to go, and they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he takes it all the way, but there is a flag down, so hold the celebration. This one's coming back. And that big fourth quarter return, Charles, makes this a one-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had the big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for two? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
Time starting to run out here in the fourth. This defense just trying to keep the offense off the board and preserve this potential victory. They go play action here on first down. Looking deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
And, of course, the quarterback in this situation, he's realizing time is becoming a factor. Let's see if they can get some points on the board here late.
56, right there, 56.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. And the defense lines up looking for one final stop.
And they will be playing for the pass in this situation, not expecting any type of a run.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the pitch to Freeman. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work. Can anyone get it?
What a move. And he's brought down after a good game. A good pickup there at 22.
You got to feel a little bit for the defense there. They've done a terrific job all day long holding this guy in check. But that might have been the run to break things out for him, maybe turn things around. Now he's going to have some confidence, and maybe he'll get to his normal yardage.
They'll toss it to Coleman. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. A gain of 3, second down.
Partner, we know today's...
And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Seven yards to go on second down. They toss to Freeman. And the Saints signal for another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
9 yards to go. It's 3rd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Ryan to throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Here's Matt Bosher now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. 1 possession game. Time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts. Got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they went big on first down. Proves unfruitful.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Back to throw. And that's incomplete. Kobe Flainer, the tight end, his intended target. And now it's fourth down. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
All right, here we go. 3-19. Leopard. 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 Leopard.
Halfback sent in motion. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. Only one timeout defensively, so this should just be a simple kneel down.
I agree totally. I looked at my time management chart. It says take a knee, victory formation. They just have one timeout left, and that should be all she wrote.
By the way, it's a good thing you can read that because nobody else can.
Not with my chicken scratch, not at all.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Falcons, they move back over 500 at 3-2 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.
Hello, my name is Kamal. I am from the clouds. I'm a human now, but I used to be a raindrop. Word up.